all want to save money, but how? By calling Debbie at I Will Advisors, that's how, and have her review your homeowner's policy. Most homeowners never review their policy, but it should be reviewed every year. You commercial property owners, same goes for you. So what are you waiting for? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors and start saving money. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
It takes a whole lot more effort to get something started in your life than it does to keep it moving.
Del Walmsley has moved thousands of radio listeners closer to a great life. The Del Walmsley Show is now on in South Florida on Talk 1470, Monday at 5, Tuesday through Friday at noon. Listen and move towards your great life today.
What you want to know. What you need to know.
Talk 1470, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Lights in the Night Show with Russell Johnson, who wants to talk about and reveal what the United States government doesn't want you to know about UFOs and aliens right here in this country and around the globe. Russell has been following this material for over 50 years and will have guests who will tell their stories from around the world. Take down the number to call in, 888-565-1470, because Russell wants to hear your story. Our show also invites you to send your pictures and videos to UFO@amp2.tv so we can show them on our program at lightsinthenight.tv. Now, let's get to the Lights in the Night subject matter and hear what the government has tried to keep quiet for over 50 years. Again, get ready to call 888-565-1470 and watch on lightsinthenight.tv. Now, here's Russell with today's show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the call-in line is open at 1-888-565-1470. 1-888-565-1470. Visit our website at lightsinthenight.tv. Join our chat room right now. And now, Dr. Russell Johnson.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to WWNN. And that's 1470 on the AM and 95.3 on the FM. And guess what? The last program of the year. And we're excited because we have Linda Jane Salina with us. She's a psychic, she's an intuitive, she's a medium, and she helps other people to practice their skills, because she is saying, and she'll tell us in just a moment, that we all have those same skills, but we just don't practice, don't use them. And we have Diana. You're from Russia, aren't you?
Yes.
Russia, right. And you've been following alien, you do read some books and fell in psychic and
since I was a kid, yeah. My mom was more interested in it, so I kind of learned hearing about stuff, and I continued being interested. Yeah.
So you're right on top of it.
Yeah, I'm on top, I think.
Yeah. Did you you know about this book? You sent me a clip on that.
Yeah. I watched.
This is awesome.
It was really awesome on YouTube. Actually, you can watch it. In the book, I didn't get it yet, but I think there's a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah, for the people. It's Antarctica, Hidden History.
Did you get to watch?
Yeah, I did.
It was good, right?
Oh, yeah. The author, you sent me a 2-hour clip on that. That was excellent.
And there is more, actually, if you just put the name of it in YouTube.
Right, yeah. I've gotten through about 10 hours of this book, on the audio. And Jennifer Gottsmith, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And she represents... V-Card?
V-Card Global, yeah. I'm like, I'm not sure where you're going with that. I thought you were, I represent the people who know not much about the aliens and ETs, so I thought that was my job here. the non-expert.
The novice, huh?
Yeah, the novice, for sure. Yeah, V-Card Global is the world's smartest business card. It's a digital business card in the palm of your hand. And for more information, please go to your text function and text JENNG to the number 80800 and jump into the future, which is what we talk about anyway on this show all the time.
And you don't need the paper any longer.
No, let's not kill a tree, and let's make sure that, we save our planet, because as we found out in our show, the Titans are coming. So they're awakening, and that's where they are in Antarctic. So we've learned this over the past few weeks.
There's a lot of things in the Antarctic.
Yeah.
And so we had Linda Jane with us, so you want to bring on, she's a psychic, she's an intuitive, and and she is right here with us. And she, for those people who want to get a reading, and she does readings, and so all you have to do is call here 888-565.
1470.
Great, excellent. So you can call her and get a reading. Okay, Jane, I want to introduce her. Bring her on. Want to bring Jane on? You talk to Jane, haven't you? Bring her on. Yeah.
Hi, Jane. Are you there?
Hi, my name's Linda Jane. He always calls me Jane.
I'm so sorry.
But you would prefer to be called Linda Jane Heals?
Yes. Yes, everybody calls me Linda Jane.
Okay, perfect. Except for apparently Russell.
He just mixed me up.
I'm learning.
On air.
But you can always go to her website, Linda, Lynda, Jane, Jane, Selina, SELINA.com, and just find out all the things that she's been doing, and over the many, many years, she's doing great. You have a question of it?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know if you can tell me maybe any messages from spiritual world.
For you specifically?
Yeah, for me actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were talking about other things first, as Russell and I discussed.
Okay, but we can get to those subjects. But I just wanted she's here.
I understood the readings were at the end. Sorry.
Well, go right ahead. We how you do? Say playing it by ear.
Sure. I can barely hear you, Russell.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's hard to hear. It's really muffly. Sorry.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, you talk to her. Talk to her.
What were the questions you wanted to ask me about?
Talk to her.
The alien stuff and all that.
Oh, alien. Well, now the question I'll have I ever been abducted? If you could tell me that.
Are you there?
Yes, sorry, I was just thinking a moment. I would say that yes, you have actually, more than once, twice, I'm told. And I just heard that you're from Russia, and it feels to me as though there's an agreement that follows you around the planet. You will meet with alien species again, and that you know no fear of it. There's nothing to be scared of. You have to know that. It doesn't feel like there's experimentation for you. It's more of looking into and checking that you're okay, and there's a download of information that will come for you that will help you feel more comfortable with what you're dealing with right now.
Wow.
That's excellent. If we have a person online, put them on the air. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Mary, you're on the air.
Oh, are you there?
We're right here.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was calling for a reading?
Yeah, go right ahead. Linda's on. She's listening to you.
Oh, I don't have a question. I just thought you might tell me something. Do you feel any specific energies around me?
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so your psychic ability is open anyway. I'm sure you've been experiencing a few different things. There's definitely an energy of a settling feeling that's coming to you that is needed, because there's something that's been around you that's been unsettling for you. It hasn't to do with physical things, it's emotional things. And I want to tell you that the sort of unsettled feeling around you is going to smooth out very soon, and within 2 weeks from now, you'll be absolutely fine. And you don't have to worry too much about people who seem to be encroaching on your space, because that's all coming around you around the new year. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry I wasn't planning to do this. I thought I was going to be asked questions.
You know what? You nailed it, actually.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
First time calling, and I couldn't believe what just came out of your mouth, because thank you.
Oh, great, Mary. Thank you very much for calling. I really appreciate it.
It has to do with a family relationship with my daughter and my grandson. So
it will
and then the other grandmother. So
it will be difficult for a few, and then you'll see that it kind of flows away and everything just kind of gets back to normal. So don't be too anxious about it. It will pass.
Oh, see, that's so nice.
Mary, thank you very much for calling in. Hey, Linda. Obviously, for those people who want more information on you, all they have to do is go to Linda, Lynda, Jane, Selina, SELINA.com, and they can see. And your telephone number is there too, by the way. It's a 778, and that's 4364. No, 778 888-228-4364, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's it. Okay. Now, let me ask you, before we take any other calls, that you've been around this industry a long time. I mean, you've been a psychic, a medium, and an intuitive for a long, long, long time. The big question is that human beings, the people on the planet, they didn't come from fish or the ape out of the woods. No. But no. Okay, so you're saying that the Anunnakis, hundreds of thousands of years ago, came from another part of the universe and created the human being, yes or no?
Yes, that's part of the story. It's not the whole story because there's a great culmination of energies, but yes, there is that element of truth in that, yes.
Okay.
You've never been a fish, don't worry.
And so the Anunnakis, are they still here?
Yes, in certain places.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the people who live in Hollow Earth? Let's talk about a few of those quickly, and then we can get back to some questions. So the people who want to call in, it's 888-565-1470. Go right ahead. And Hollow Earth.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
I want to know what's happening in the Antarctica. It's a lot of activity.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The president went. Putin went. The Pope went. Go ahead.
There are pyramids buried and hidden all over the earth. Many of them are sort of under mountainous regions as well. So they're not necessarily completely visible to the naked eye. And, of course, in Antarctica, one of them has been uncovered. The point is, it's not really about the, like the saying, you know, that the Nazis were doing something that I don't see that as being true at all. I think it's much bigger and more important than that. These are basically sort of powerful centers of energy transference. There is a feeling of that there's like as we would call it, a tracking system that links them all together so they can be found, and it's scientifically everything's scientifically placed. Of course, the Antarctic and the Arctic are very poignant spaces on our planet. But the point is that that these spaces have been used for tens of thousands of years for specific, helpful, I would say, transportation between galaxies, universes, planets, and indeed between themselves. It's very easy to, as we would, if you want to look at it in a Star Trek way, to kind of cloak, transportation. It's very simple process.
Here's the bigger question. Are people still being abducted? I mean, because Eisenhower made an agreement at Holloman Air Force Base in 54 or 57, with the aliens to allow them to continue to abduct people in exchange for the iPhone and the internet and all of that stuff. Is that a true story? Back engineering? Yes?
Yeah, but things have moved on from that, Russell. There are so many alien species who are believing themselves to be completely human, but there's so much alien DNA. A lot of this abduction, as you would say, is people, being taken to be checked upon that they're doing okay on this planet, because a lot of us are kind of slightly hybrid, and a lot of us are very hybrid. So, there's an element of the alien species taking care of their own in that. So that agreement, yes. The controversy around that is not actually the alien element. It's the corruption of the government's element. That's where the questionable side of all this happens.
So you're saying that the government has the technology, has the technique, and to be able to abduct people as the aliens have done. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they're abducting people too.
Wait, so
I get watched a lot. I'll put it that way.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask. Like, who on the government's end are they abducting? Are they abducting people that they believe are hybrids because they have that information,
right?
Or are they abducting people who had been abducted so that they can run their own tests? Like,
it's a bit of everything, to be perfectly honest. If you're a person of interest, you're a person of interest for whatever reason. I myself regularly bump into people that just happen to be loitering around my building where I live, and my students have come in and said, who are those people outside waiting? Oh, okay. So they hear a lot, and I've had phone calls from interesting people that told me trying to silence me, which I refuse. And every day is a good day to die, and I'll just come back and haunt them. you know, I'm quite happy to do whatever I need to do to get to the truth, and that's fine by me. But, you know, there are lots of different reasons for people being taken, and some of them are very positive.
Linda?
And some of them for information.
Linda, sorry, how do you get this information? Do you interact with the aliens, or it's all like you're intuitive, or...
Well, I know that I'm introduced as a medium and a psychic and an intuitive. The truth of it is I'm a sort of a communicator, and for some reason, I don't know why I was chosen, but I've always found it extremely easy to communicate with the spirit world, which, of course, the spirit world as we know it includes the angelic realms and also the extraterrestrial entities as well. They're pretty much one and the same. Just as you could say a dog and a cat are still both animals, you know, they're slightly different, but not much. And I know I've been visited by many alien species. I've been on spaceships. I've done all those kind of things. And, you know, for me, it's all very intriguing. And the reason for my existence still is definitely to help bring truth instead of scaring everybody, which there's absolutely no need to be scared. So I get my messages through many different ways. Sometimes it's a download, sometimes it's information that's given to me in a face-to-face way, you know, depends where I am and what I'm doing. And also, of course, we can bend time, and when time's bent, we can step out and come back, and we've not really been missing exactly. And there's lots of information in that for me. So I've agreed, and, you know, I'm happy to share everything that I know, and I only speak of what I know, not what I think I know.
So you're saying too then, if I hear you correctly, that you are able to talk with people who have passed on, be it Jesus, be it Krishna or Buddha, be it Mandela, whomever, or Mother Teresa. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, I don't manipulate that. I don't drag people from the other side, even though people do think that. I literally open myself up to those energies, which are easy for me to move between, and say whatever you need to tell me or need me to share, just let me know, and people show up.
So let's just say that my wife passed some years ago, and if I wanted to have communications with her, you could intercede and have a conversation with her. Is that right?
Yeah, that's just mediumship. That's like...
But you do that.
For what I've done.
You do that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I've been doing that for decades.
When we were talking about before, you have any questions? But I don't want to take the whole show, but I'll just... Go ahead.
I would have a question if you have some kind of message from the spiritual world from me.
I can get that for you. 1 second. Okay, the first thing that I get is a real feeling of bubbling excitement for you, that you're on a new venture that's really expansive for you. The little warning I would give you is this is bigger than you think it is, that you're going into. So be prepared, you know, be careful what you wish for. It has that kind of a feel about it. But I feel there's a whole new direction for you to go in your life, and Spirit are right behind you and encouraging you to do it. You're a good spokesperson for the people.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions of her? No questions?
No, not right now. It's all fascinating to me, so I'm listening to everything that you have to say.
But Linda says that she's not only been here for a year or two on this planet, but that she's been on many planets in the universe, and she's been born over and over again. So you are saying that reincarnation is a reality, that people can leave the planet and come back to this planet. I don't know why, but anyway. So
maybe that's the best place.
Once you leave, you say, I'm out of here. But and so you're saying that that's possible. Is that where we are?
Well, reincarnation is a little bit different from how people believe it is, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
We rub shoulders with each other as we pass energy for energy through the spiritual realms and the matrix around the earth and the universes as well. So we have a lot of borrowed knowledge from each other. So, for example, if I said to you, oh, you know, I have a grey cup in my hand full of tea, and then I say, oh, Russell, could you go to my house and find that cup? And you'd find it, and it's grey, and it has tea in it. You would see that as a memory that you have, that it's actually me who experienced it, and I told you about it. We exchange information all the time, teacher-student style, for example, or, you know, how to drive a bus. You don't know until you try it, but you think you do, but you don't until you try. So reincarnation is very multifaceted. It's not that I, Linda Jane, have shown up as, you know, a Chinese gentleman 1,000 years ago. The element and memory of that is with me because I'm part of that evolutionary energy, if that makes sense. So we all are fragments, and we rub off against each other and join together and form new species, new people, dogs, cats, birds, and all this kind of thing. So we do. I'm sorry, I'm talking so fast. I'm just trying to give you as much information.
Yeah, right. Okay, but I think you have a.
Yeah, I just had a question. So, as someone who's been reincarnated or had many lives, do you remember them? Do you remember portions of them? Do they come to you in dreams, or you can vividly remember different segments of your life?
I can remember. I can remember being a man, being a woman, being a child. I can remember all those things. That's just because I'm very open and I have this innate natural born ability. But what I will get usually is I'll see somebody that sparks a memory for me, because, you know, we're often bumping into people from other lives. And then I look into that and I get the whole story of what it was and what I was doing. But sometimes I'm very much like me. And
we have 8 billion.
That's very different.
We have 8 billion people on planet Earth at this point. Now, how many people you think out of the 8 billion have been here before and are returning? How many?
8 billion.
8 billion? I'm the first time. I've just been here the first. This is my first go round.
No.
This is it for me. I just got here.
I'm not even an intuitive, and I don't believe that to be true.
This is my first experience on this crazy planet. That's Come on.
Negative. No, I don't.
Sorry, than you are, Russell.
She says no, it's not true. Hey, how many different species do we have here, approximately? I mean, you know, look, the vastness of the universe, we got hundreds of billions of planets, hundreds of billions of universes out there.
Where do you begin to describe that? How many types of living organisms are there just on planet Earth?
Okay, so in your essence, you got the Pleiadians, the Greys, the Reptilians, the Nordics.
I mean, way more than that.
Way more than that. So you say 30, 40, 50 different species running around on the planet?
Oh, yeah, at least.
At least, So,
yeah. And some of them are energy vibration that could be seen to be thought.
Okay.
You know, it's not always a little green man in the grass. It's not, you know, necessarily what we would imagine would be a living being, you know. All right. But they are in their way.
Well, listen, you have a lot of talents. You're intuitive, medium, you're psychic. Now, when I go back to Ingo Swann back in the 60s and all this science in here, the UFO encyclopedia here, and I look at the concept of remote viewing, that's real. And the government has been experimenting with that for the last 30 or 40 years, that they can watch me at home, even though I'm maybe hundreds of miles away. So what's the difference between remote viewing and your ability to use telepathy? What's the difference?
Okay. Well, telepathy is like an energy transference of a different kind, but basically remote viewing is very archaic compared to the complexities of being able to connect with everything all at once, because literally it's like plugging in a TV, right? Basically. It's that basic. What I do is I'm just more aware. We can all do it to some level, but I'm just more aware. For me, it's just like walking around and having one foot in this world and one foot in wherever else I need to be. But the other world changes and this one doesn't.
Do you ever walk around like just confused? Because you have so much going on in your head. Do you ever just walk around like in the grocery store thinking, what am I even supposed to be doing here?
Yeah, this world's pretty tough for me to anchor myself into, because I'd much rather be elsewhere. It's interesting because I had a brain injury 2 years ago almost, and I had to learn to walk in a straight line, and I lost math completely and everything. I just had a really bad fall. But my psychic ability was not touched in any way. If anything, it was enhanced. So,
interesting.
You know,
let's look at a bit of history. I think we got about 3 minutes left. I see 24 minutes after the hour, and the time goes fast. But when you're having fun, what can I say? Listen, once again, for those individuals who want to get in touch with you, give us that information, please.
Okay, it's at LyndaJanesSalina.com. That's Linda with a Y, LyndaJanes for Sierra, ELINA.com. And my number is 778-628-4364. I'm out of Vancouver. I know I sound English, but I actually live in Vancouver, so it's not as far away and scary as you think.
Yeah, and it's
it's
a toll-free call there. So anyway, especially we have these iPhones, we can call anywhere in the world.
And
toll-free.
There's so much interest in this now, just mainstream. Mm-hmm. If you see television shows, there are so many different people who come on and do readings, whether it be celebrity readings or just somebody walking in the store and get a feeling and feel the need that they have to stop that person and say, your mom's with you now. So there seems to be a huge explosion, a surgence of this.
And of course, some of that's good and some of it's extremely negative. But
is that has to do with this ascension?
Yes, it does.
Let's talk about that briefly. I think we got about 1 minute to talk about ascension. Yeah. What is ascension? What happens now with this universe, with this planet?
Ascension is a shift in energy that has happened hugely over the last 4 to 5 years. It's almost like a manual gear on a car, if you can imagine, where the two discs disconnect and then lock back together and move forward, and things are changed a little as you move up and down gears. And this is basically like an upgrade or an up-gearing, so that we have much more ability to connect with who we really are. That's what the Ascension's about. It's been a difficult and long process, and it's just at its end.
So is that raising one's consciousness level to become more aware of who we are? Because
absolutely,
from what I hear, and as I talk to people from Hollow Earth and other people, George Green, others, Julian, but anyway, they're saying that now that we will have the ability to have psychokinesis, that we have the ability to use telepathy, we have the ability to do remote viewing.
You have to learn it. You have to learn it, Russell. It's not laid onto your lap. You have to learn it and put the time in. It takes dedication and time. That's what's missing from all the new people who are just jumping on this.
Okay.
You know, there's much more to it than people realize.
We've got about 2 minutes here.
No, I just want to say that makes sense. So that's the good and the bad, where one, it raised conscious level mainstream, but two, you have anybody getting there who says, I get a feeling, and who knows, you know.
Oh, absolutely. 5 years ago in Vancouver, for example, there were 20 mediums, and now there are allegedly 2,000.
Oh, wow.
Well, so I can jump in that middle of that crowd and pretend I'm one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Hey, listen, yes, you could.
Listen, we have 30 seconds, and I want you to talk about the program is brought to us, the world, Boca here, by who?
By B-Card Global.
Okay.
So B-Card Global, it's the world's smartest business card. It's a digital business card in the palm of your hands. So anybody who wants any information, please text the number 80800, and the message is JENNG.
Okay, great.
I'll help you out.
Any closing remarks? You have 30 seconds or less.
Oh, just a quick question. So you can help people to get better with their intuition and
Yes, I teach classes all the time. I'm just about to do a series of podcast classes that will be out before February.
And so she teaches all of this.
You do them online too?
Yes.
Right, the whole night. Okay, listen, folks, the last show of the year, I really hope that you enjoyed something, gotten some information, because this is for information and education purposes. And it's all happening right here in South Florida on the Health and Wealth Station of South Florida. That's WWNN Radio. And that's 1470 on the AM, 95.3 on the FM. Happy New Year. Feliz Navidad. And Feliz Año.
Thank you for listening and watching The Lights in the Night Show with Russell Johnson. Today's show can be seen on Lights in the Night. Thank you for listening and watching The Lights in the Night Show with Russell Johnson. Today's show can be seen on lightsinthenight.tv. And remember to send your pictures and videos to UFO at amp2.tv. And perhaps they will be used on the show. Join us next week as we bring you more information on UFO sightings and aliens that your government doesn't want you to know about. Keep the information flowing, and we will see you next week on The Lights in the Night Show with Russell Johnson.